Hey guys, how you doing? How you doing? Uncle Craig here on the bun nog. I used to sit out here in my early videos. I'd sit out here and have a chat when I had my ZV1, but I have since, I killed the ZV1. I drowned it. So I'm gonna use my GoPro 11. It's got a little different view, but I think I like the ZV1 better in terms of view, but with the action and stuff, the GoPro will probably be a lot better. Stability and all that. Yeah. So what are you guys up to? I am recovering. Not from alcohol, but from work. Working my butt off. Yesterday, and then the day before, and the day before that, so 3 days ago, whatever, is when I put all them beams out there on that solid foundation over the pond. And each one of them beams is 6 meters long, so that's like 28 feet, I forget, but or no, 21 feet or something. And they probably each weighed a good 40-50 pounds, but it's awkward weight, right? Because it's long, so it becomes heavier in that sense, and I'm an old guy, man. Oh, I'll be 65 here in another month or two. What is this, May, June, July, beginning of August? Yeah, a couple more months. And it was brutal because I had to walk over that hardened pond floor now. That you walked in it when it was mud, and you made these huge holes. And so it's like, have you ever seen the pictures of the Badlands, like in California, or where is the Badlands in America? Walking on the Badlands, not good. So not only did I have to precariously work with the wood on top of walking on those weird footings, it took its toll, man. I mean, I swear by the end of the day, I actually left the last one is actually not attached. I couldn't make it. I was feeling the effects of heat exhaustion for sure. And even that was till 5. It rained that day, so I worked in the morning, and then I let it rain. And then I went back out there after it stopped raining. I let the sun dry up the rain a little bit, so I wouldn't slip on that mud out there. And then I went out there and finished it up. So by 5:30, it was I was dead to the world. And my wife was out at Bangkok for the monk's coronation, and she came back at right about the time I was finished. Actually, I don't even think I was in the shower yet. Yeah, she called. She goes, "Oh, I'm at the intersection." I was, So I just took a shower. She pulled up, and then she had a million other things for me to do. So I was like, "Oh my God!" So the next day, I was crap. I could feel every ankle bone and everything from walking on uneven surfaces, and I could feel my shoulders and my joints in here, from lifting and pulling and lugging, stretching out. You get older, man. I talk about these things because I'm experiencing them for the first time, because I'm older, and I realize that your ligaments and your muscles, they start to break down, man. I mean, I was pretty healthy. I'm still pretty healthy, but not that kind of healthy. Not construction work kind of healthy, I suppose. The whole construction on the house is what really kicked my ass, but I was up for it. Now my body's starting to change. It's been 14 months working on the farm here, doing a lot, lifting a lot, pushing a lot, digging a lot, hacking. And I think it's taking its toll, because I was starting to feel it, like, for a longer period. So that next day, I just wanted to do nothing that day. And I slept in, and I didn't do much. I did actually, that's right, I worked on my computer. I had already built a new teak bookshelf in the shop. I think I might have showed that. And I brought that up, although that was super heavy. And I brought that up to my room, and I resituated the whole room, and that kind of worked. Still sweating, but didn't really have to do major stuff. So I kind of chilled, and ate and stuff. Then the next day, which was yesterday, I again still felt weak, man. I was like, there's things that need to be done. I need to sand the top of that big table one more time before I spray it with lacquer. And that sounds easy, but again, you're pushing this hard belt sander, and you have to muscle it the whole time, so it's a little workout. But I was pretty set on kind of doing nothing. And then if y'all remember if you watched the previous video, I think just the last video, and maybe the one before that, when I was showing that I got the wood for that Zala foundation and or floor or whatever, the deck part. And I also got a set of stairs, and they're already built, they're 100 years old or whatever, teak, and they're probably, I don't know, 100 years old, but they're good 50 years old for sure. But they definitely are probably 100 pounds. No, they're more than 100 pounds. It's probably 200 pounds for that staircase, all that thick wood stuff. Because my wife was, actually, when I think in my previous videos, I talked about I wanted stairs around the pond, different place. There's one over here, was like, but that was only like maybe 2 or 3 stairs deep. I suppose it could go, but off the bank when the water's high, it's only a couple steps. The other side where the boat is, it's kind of round, half a circle, so I thought that one needed a different kind of staring deck to get down in there. But with the cement patio deck that I built on the shop house, off the shop house, that one section I said was perfect for stairs to go down. I thought those stairs I bought would look good there, or otherwise work good there because of the width and all that. And then of course the deck I built on the other side, which has that little cement pier that I built out over there. And I thought, well, maybe right off the end of the pier, that'd be cool. And as fate would have it, my wife was out there yesterday morning going, hey, we put them stairs over here, I'm like, yeah. And she's all, come on, let's do it. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And then, of course, her ulterior motive there was because the stairs were sitting on the grass over there, killing the grass. So she wanted them off the grass. But she goes, I'll help you. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's a good idea. She thought we could carry, like, on the sides, lift it up together and hoik it over there. Well, I go, well, no. She's like, come on. So I go, okay. Got her on the other side, started to lift. I could barely lift it. And when she was lifting it, you could see her face just swell up, like, And I go, put it down. And she's like, no, let's go. I'm like, put it down. I don't want her having a hernia and me, popping a disc. It's just not good. And it's all connected, so it's one big giant piece. And so I just, say, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll figure it out. And of course, I just used the same method really that I did with the, with those 20-foot cement slabs I put in place by the deck by myself. And that was, I just took actually the decks I used steel bar, which I don't have anymore, but so I just took round bamboo and laid it on the ground, and then put that on top of it and rolled it right over, so no friction. And I just kept doing that, and when it would come off the bamboo, I'd put it back in the front again, and you know, until I could get it all the way over there. And then I had my wife help me. We lifted it. You could lift it up end to end easier than you lift like sideways, right? So we ended in, and I let it go over on top of the cement deck that I made over there, because being flat, there's a lot less friction too. So I was able to just slide it, and I slid it, and pushed it, and slid it into the position, and then right off the end of the pier, and boom, down, and let it drop, and it slid down into the pond. Remember, the pond is drained, so it went into the mud, which was like, and it was kind of far away from the you know, edge of the pier thing that I built there. And so I was kind of bummed. I was like, man, that's too far, you know. And so I wound up for 2 hours or 3 hours, I wound up trying to manipulate that thing and get it into a better position on its normal angle, so that it wouldn't just sink down in the pond. I mean, that the shoreline there, it has the root system from some of the trees, and it has all the crushed bricks from the debris from when I, you know, knocked the walls out before I put new walls up in that knockdown house. I mean, in the shop house. And so anyway, it's not stable, and it was pushing on that stuff and sliding it down. I was digging around, and ultimately I wound up finding an old piece of teak log, and I put that down at the base, like into the mud, and then lifted that thing. I tried to use my come along, but I couldn't have anything to latch onto it, and I used the webbing. I tried to wake up myself. I couldn't even move the thing. And it was just, I put in so much effort to move it like 2 inches at a time. It beat me up, man. But I was able to get it, and I got it on top of the log, you know, got it in position, and then I took other teak beams and tied it, kind of hammered it in and tied them back to the underside of the pier. And then I still had a couple of steps to cover space between the end of the pier and the beginning of the stairs. So I built that out. So now it's all cool. I'll show it to you in a little bit. But it kicked my ass. It was only 3 hours worth of work, but I woke up this morning and I swear to God, I thought my arm was like 6 inches longer. This one, because I'm right-handed, so obviously I'm gonna put more effort on my right side probably. But oh Jesus, I did it again. But I got it done. And now, but we'll really have to wait and see what when the pond fills with water, you know, where it comes up to. Does it change? There's no way that, I thought before when I was thinking of the stairs on this side over here, I thought, well, I'm gonna have to bolt it in like a, what do they call it, a lazy bolt or something, where, you know, where the stairs could float up and float down, and, you know, with the water, and not have a problem. And there's no way those stairs are floating. That teak wood is like solid iron metal. It's going to stay down there. So my biggest concern is when the waters come and the pond bottom becomes much more, you know, and much softer, that it's going to go and sink farther. So I think what I'm going to do, now that I'm talking about it, actually, I'm going to have to get in front of that last step. And I'm going to put rebar or steel bar. I'll probably just use rebar, like 3/4 inch rebar, and just hammer that thing. I got sledge, right? Sledgehammer. So I'll just hammer maybe a 3 meter piece all the way down into the hard stuff, and put it on the end so that that stair can't move forward at all. It still might move down though. Well, if I hammer them far enough, I suppose I could somehow tie that last step area against that rebar to prevent the rebar from, you know, to prevent the step from actually falling down or sinking down farther, even in front of the rebar. The rebar will prevent it from going into the pond, but it probably not going to prevent it from going farther into the mud. So, something to think about. But I definitely have to put that bar in before the waters come. And it hasn't rained. It rained the other day, like, you know, for 10 minutes that day I was working on the sala. It came down hard though. I had to grab my tools real quick and get the heck out of there. Speaking of my tools, so yesterday, this morning, actually yesterday and this morning, the saga continues. Electrical problems. Yeah. So yesterday, in the morning, it was like 5:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Usually my wife's up and she's out doing stuff, but we were both sleeping, and it was like I say, it was a little after 5, and all of a sudden, boom, power went out. You know, aircon went off. Didn't worry too much about it. Figured it'd come on. Most of it's shut off here probably half a dozen or more times since we've been here, but it pops back on. It's like they go do work and then they pop it back on pretty quick. You know, maybe even 5 minutes, whatever. And but it wasn't coming back on. So we got up before 6. You know. And looked out the window and you could see that the power was still on over at the that side of the house, because this is a separate line, and then the small knockdown and the shop house and all that side is a separate line. New meter we put on that side, and we have our own meter on this side too. So anyway, that means it was something in the house. So, you know, oh man, what the heck. So I just tripped the main breaker back on, and it stayed on, and then a couple seconds later pop off. So I just went one by one, see what's up. And it was the one breaker, 32 amp, which is a lot. 32 amp connects to the router for the internet, and right there in the bedroom. And I was like, what? So I turned that off, and I plugged the routers into an extension cord. Everything was fine, and I tried to sort it out. And I thought, must be maybe it's the actual breaker. So I actually swapped out the breaker, and it stayed on for like 10-15 minutes. I was like, all right, cool, fixed it, you know, and boom, turned off. What? Why did it wait so long? And then, so then I, what did I do? I basically unplugged everything that I could for a load going to that, you know, line, and it was still trip. And I couldn't, I think I did a bunch of other stuff. I couldn't figure it out. I know I chased the lines. I looked all the lines for any kind of short, like, you know, burnt, smells, brown, melted, whatever. And everything looks great. Everything's fine. Damn, man. What the hell? Then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's up in the roof. Maybe a rat did get in the roof, even though we've never heard one, and it's kind of hard, but I guess they could climb these posts somehow and get all the way to the roof. I don't know. You know, they'd have to get into the house. I suppose they could have gone up the stairs into the house when we're not there, or when we're out here, you know, the door's open, and then ran around in there and climbed up from inside the house somewhere. I don't know. Cats are always in and around. They probably would have ate them. They eat mice every day. And so I just didn't know. And so Dodd called the electrician guy, the guy who did the shop house and the small knockdown house for us and stuff. And she told him what we did. He's all, that's weird. He goes, you know, it might be your plug and not the breaker and all that other stuff, just the receptacle. And then I remember that, you know, on more than one occasion when I got up in the middle of the night going to the bathroom, I passed by that plug and it sticks out, and so I, you know, kind of whacked it a couple times, and so I thought I may have broke it. So I had one in the shop, so I got it out, swapped it out, and I was like, yeah, and so turned it back on, and there you go, seemed to be fine, you know. I was like, okay, and then Like 6 hours later, boom, it trips. What the? No idea what that was. I was like, why does it trip like that long? It wasn't hot or anything. I mean, we didn't increase the load or anything. Really weird. So anyway, I took it unplugged. It was at night. It was towards the evening, maybe 5 or 6 or something, or 7. Maybe it was nighttime. I don't know. But I used the extension cord to their thing so I could turn the routers back on and the TV and all that. And then this morning, I said, well, I got to do with it. And I figured, I was gonna have to get up on I got my jigsaw and my hammer, and I'm gonna cut a square out of the ceiling so I can make like a trap door, to get up in there, and not to get up in there, but at least stick my head up in there and look at the wiring and stuff like that. I mean, I saw them when they were doing the wiring for the house. It's really just Romex wire that's pulled through the house. It's not in any conduiting or anything, and all bunched together to come down to the main breaker. And then and so and I'm like, man, I didn't want to do that. And I thought, well, it might be a good idea. I could make that hole, make it opening, a removable door, and then I could put the cat up there. Say, dude, put both of them up there and say, hey, get to work. If there's anything moving around up there, you get it, boy. But before I did that, I said, wait a minute, and so I looked at the receptacle that I put in there, and then I tugged on the line, to see where it goes through the roof and comes back down into the breaker box. And I realized, wait a minute, that plug, that receptacle, goes up and it comes down into the box, but it also is daisy chained basically down to down here. And it's the one line that comes straight down here to this bottom receptacle, which has the electrician put it in, it was 2 switches and a double receptacle. And that was the switches, one for this white incandescent light. That's right. I think I put that in there. Oh yeah, he just connected it to that light with a single switch or something. I think I swapped that out myself. And so I could have the white light and then another switch for all 4 of my bug lights that I put on the other side over there. And then of course I hooked up the fan down here, and this is also, we put in an extension cord to when we want to use the Kroki system, or the TV mounted up here and stuff like that and all that. But that's all off of a 32 amp breaker, and that's a lot, and none of that stuff was on when it would trip. I mean, none of it's on, so why are you tripping? I don't know. But what I did this morning was I went ahead and just used my screwdriver to press open the back of the receptacle. How they are these days, it's just like a wedge. You gotta stick your terminals in there, and pulled out the 2 terminals, the 3 with the ground, pulled out the 3 wires that come downstairs. So right now everything's plugged in back to normal and all that stuff, minus the power to down here. And yeah, and I put all the lights on, I put the fan on upstairs and all that stuff going, and we'll run it and I'll see. I mean, like I say, yesterday it went like 6 hours and then tripped, so I'm gonna have to leave it like that probably until tomorrow in terms of disconnected here. If it's fine by tomorrow, then there's something going on down here. Although, like I said, I did come down here yesterday and looked at the lines and stuff, and it looked fine. Although there are 3 different splices. It might be something else. I also connected a double USB port down here. But now, actually yesterday when I was looking at that, I do see that the USB ports, they do not look clean in there. They look like, you know, moisture or something. So maybe it's the USB ports. So I'll go through the process of elimination. If this works fine, what I have upstairs, then what I'll do is I'll reconnect the downstairs, but I'll disconnect the USB and let that ride, see if that works. And if that works, then I probably isolated it to the USB. Yeah. Anyway, that's my electrical saga in progress. Check it out, man. This is my 3-star night vision and day vision. Little optical scope. Why it has a compass there, I don't know, but it's a, what is it, 100 by 90, 1800 meters by 980 meters. This is my bird zoom. I thought I'd get this. It was Lazada for like $5 or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. And at nighttime too. You know, just hold it up. I like it. Yeah, I still haven't opened my bush cutter I got the other day from Lazada. That's another job I'd like to put off. But what are you gonna do, man? Well, oh yeah, I can feel my back popping now as it cools down from trying to push that damn staircase up. My wife's out doing laundry today. It's Wednesday. Oh, I missed it, man. I was like, Sunday, there was a mountain bike race out here. And one of my wife's friends had called her and said, hey, man. And so, of course, by the time I got over there, next village or two, I think, they were done. Everybody was leaving. And then it was, again, it was on Monday. That was Sunday. It was on Monday over here in this village. But Monday was when my wife went to Bangkok, and it was when I was working on got up early and started working on the Sala, which I forgot all about the mountain bike race. So I wanted to go check it out, man. Dang it. And, but there is a marathon coming up on July, I think it's the 9th. You can register, just, I don't know, Google Comping Pit Marathon 2023. There's a 5K and a 10K and a 21K and a 42K. Well, 42 is the marathon, but yeah, it's pretty cool. If you've never been up to Comping Pit, you want to do a 5K, 10K, 20K, or marathon, register now, man. I don't know how many people, I forget, I think they've had it before. It's a pretty big event, so there'll be a lot of people. Little do you know, or I should say, I don't think a lot of people know that Comping Pit actually is, you know, a pretty big, I don't know, I suppose fitness place. There are a lot of people that do a lot of activities along the river, on the Meiping River. And there's all kinds of facilities and things going on, and people, you know, doing sports and stuff. It's crazy. And they have a big sports thing during the year too, of course. And of course, like every river in Thailand, they have boat races and all other stuff. But you know, every sport is along that river. They got tennis courts and volleyball courts and sand volleyball courts and basketball courts and takraw courts and other weird games and bocce ball fields, and they do a wicked on that little island that's out there. If you've seen them other videos, a wicked croquet like club or something. Lots of people. I usually see dozens of cars over there, and they got and it's like a 18-hole golf course or whatever, croquet course. Everybody's got their own custom mallets and stuff, and balls or whatever, and you know, team jerseys and stuff. And I was like, what? Croquet? I don't think they call it croquet though. I don't know what I'm doing with my mustache, man. I'm growing my mustache, but I had to broke my comb off. I thought maybe I'd twist it up like Val Kilmer. I'll be your Huckleberry. Yeah. Although I did fix my tooth. My tooth I broke out. And yeah, I did fix it myself. Looks pretty good, huh? I'll show you. Matter of fact, that's right, I was gonna show you. That's this right here, man. That's an advert for it. It's just these little beads. Little weird beads, porcelain, not porcelain, something that that reacts to heat. So you just boil a little bit of water, whatever. You put a few of these beads in there and kind of push them together, and they attach to each other, and then they activate and melt into like a clear blob or whatever. And timing is important, and you have to take it out, and it's malleable, right, or moldable, and of course it's hot. But then I just waited, and you know, I get it to where it's a little bit hot, and then I just pushed it right into the hole, and you know, just pinched it on the back, and you know, used my actually I think I used tweezers or something to get it into where there's a gap and all that. And it's hard. It's hard. I already bit into some guava this morning. And yeah, saved myself a trip to the dentist. I don't know how many days I woke up. I gotta go over to the dentist. I gotta go over to the dentist. But I never did. And then I can't talk right without my damn tooth in there. At least I feel like I can't. When I'm 80 and I have absolutely no teeth, I probably ain't gonna care. I shouldn't even care right now, but I do, because I like to whistle. You know, I can't even whistle anymore. What do you think, man? Should I do the handlebar thing? Here, let me, you can walk with me, let me show you the what do you call that? The stairs I made. Well, I didn't make the stairs, but I should say the stairs I laid. My wife ordered some pills for the pond. There are these, you know, chemical green pills to, it's basically a pill, you put it in like a liter of water and let it sit for 24 hours, and then you go around pouring the water in the pond. You do that 1 liter every day for 5 days, I think. And then any of the green algae and all that stuff will be eaten up by the pills and gone. Pretty cool, huh? Well, remember, this was the one, whoa. This was the deck I made, and then I made this little pier right here. It goes out, and then here, boom, are the stairs. Pretty cool, huh? So those stairs go all the way down into the pond. This is what I had to add. The stairs only go to right here. And then I added this step, and then this one right here. I'm gonna put, and also, this is where I tied it in. There's like across the one beam over there. It's not super tight, but I mean, it's definitely stable. I don't have to worry about it. So the water, that's that log I was talking about. teak log I put on the bottom right underneath there. I know that's gonna move because of the you know, as soon as this gets underwater, water will come up to probably about here. Root system usually gets right about where the water is. So and I'm gonna have to get in there probably and do something about that water. I want it to dry up. We were baking heat for the last couple days. It was a little bit of a break in the heat, so it's not evaporating as much as I would like, and I don't need it to be a mosquito factory. Battery heated up right there. Yeah, I don't need no extra mosquito factories over there, but I did want to do nothing today, but you know, try and fix that electrical, of course, but it'll work out, you know. All right, man, well, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll get back at you with more on the Bon.